Welcome! In this video, we'll review setup that populates financial reports in Versailles. If you've worked with databases before, you understand that data in equals data out. That means it's important for you to know how your site has configured Versailles in order to pull meaningful finance reports. While all clients use the same software, each site uses it differently. If you're new to Versailles, the first thing to recognize is that Versailles tracks every potential dollar that comes in from your patrons through admissions, gift shop, membership, and development. In each of those 4 big business areas, you can assign which general ledger account each revenue stream should flow into on financial reports. That makes it easy to match up what your bank shows and what your credit card merchant account shows with what Versailles shows. This is a key concept, so let's look at how to configure GL accounts in Versailles and how each bit of data gets assigned the right GL account for finance reports. The better you understand how information gets input into Versailles, the more confident you will be analyzing your Versailles reports, such as this one. There are 3 places to define GL accounts: inventory, development, and admissions setup. Most sites only allow Versailles administrators and finance staff to access all 3 of these areas. If your site has a gallery, garden shop, cafe, or gift store, you'll have items for sale. Most sites assign each item a category. Item categories group similar items on certain reports and control how the web displays items for sale online. For finance purposes, item categories also define which tax rate Versailles should charge, if any, and which GL account it should have. Versailles does support multiple tax rates. Type in your GL account into each item category. You have up to 50 characters, so feel free to use a combination of numbers and more human-friendly text. If you're new to this type of configuration and looking for ideas, most sites assign 1 GL account to every item in the store. Some sites separate out consignment items into their own GL account, and sites that sell prepared food often assign a separate GL account to those food items. Assign each item a category when you set it up. If you change which category is assigned to an item, and then rerun reports, you'll see that item under the newly assigned category and GL account. Keep in mind Versailles is an integrated system. So if you decide to change the category of an item, and that item is for sale online, make sure to check with your store manager to see how it looks on the web. For fundraising and membership, each donation or membership typically gets assigned a campaign. Campaigns serve several functions in Versailles. For finance purposes, campaigns allow tracking different fundraising efforts and will automatically assign the default GL account value to donations, pledges, and membership. Make sure all of your campaigns have a GL account assigned. If each donation, pledge, and membership has a campaign, and each campaign has a GL account, then each gift will show up under the assigned GL account on finance reports. If that sounds like a lot of work, don't worry. Versailles lets you assign default campaigns for online donations, online memberships, and in-house memberships sold in admissions and gift shop. If you set things up the way most sites do, then the only time a human would need to select a campaign is when entering a donation in the Development tab. Note that staff with access to the Development tab may edit the GL account assigned to any gift. Unlike admissions and gift shop, you can't just change the GL account in a campaign and then see that change by rerunning reports. Development activity is more sensitive. If you change a GL account in an existing campaign, then from now on, gifts entered into Versailles and assigned that campaign will get the new GL account value. Versailles will not go back and update existing donations. Set it up right the first time whenever possible. If your site has reached a point where you are reconsidering Versailles structures and buckets such as funds, campaigns, promotions, and GL accounts, you may benefit from our professional services to help you reorganize it. Contact support if you'd like to discuss possibilities. In Admissions Setup, input General Ledger Accounts in the Settings menu. Many sites use a combination of human-friendly text along with actual GL account numbers to make reports intuitive for all departments. Assign which GL account you want to each event you offer. Versailles defines admissions as anything a patron may attend, including general admission, school field trips and programs, facility rentals, group tours, camps, classes, lectures, birthday parties, and outreach. The only exception is galas, which people do attend, but they're handled in the development area because they are fundraisers. It's important to remember that GL accounts are assigned per event. If your site offers a school version of chemistry demonstrations, for example, and also a public version, that means your site may want to create 2 events, so you can assign a different GL account to the school event than to the public event. You may want them separate to support different rules when booking online as well. The main point is, your reporting needs and general ledger setup should inform the way you configure events in Versailles. One metric you'll want to report on regularly is the earned revenue of attendees to your events in some date range. When you run financial reports or certain attendance reports, like this one, you'll see admissions information sorted and subtotaled by GL account in varying levels of detail. While we're on the subject of admissions, let's talk about cash flow versus earned revenue attendance value. It's a very important distinction, and it surprises some people, especially those who are new to the nonprofit world. If your site accepts deposits on future admissions, then the value of people who attended today will not equal the value of people paid for today. This is a key concept. Do not try to match up attendance reports with financial reports. Unless you only have walk-up admissions, those numbers will always be apples and oranges. The attendance report we're looking at right now does not show cash flow. It shows earned revenue of attendees in the admission date range I selected. When you launch this report, notice it defaults to past dates, today, and it has the checkbox Include Unpaid and Unprinted Reservations unchecked. The reason for that is because Versailles needs a way to distinguish which transactions are completed and fully paid, and which are bookings that haven't occurred yet and may still change or even cancel. To illustrate the distinction between cash flow and earned revenue, let's open up a group sale, because group sales frequently have deposits. This sale contains 2 events, a guided tour and a planetarium show. The price for 20 guests to attend is $140. If we press Display Edit Payments, we can see there was a $50 credit card deposit from last week. We would see that $50 payment on last week's finance reports as cash flow. We would not see these 20 guests on attendance reports for today while this sale is still unprinted or still has a balance due. That is, unless we ask Versailles to include unpaid and unprinted reservations. In other words, check that box I just showed you on the attendance report a second ago. The reason is because this sale is still open, meaning the group has not yet checked in and could still either cancel or change the number of people attending. The sale is also not fully paid, nor is it set to receivable. From a finance perspective, we technically don't earn attendance revenue until our group participates on the day of admission. We can only count on the revenue for that attendance once our guests check in, and we collect any remaining payments or set the balance to receivable status for future invoicing. To recap, if you're looking for earned revenue in some admission date range, attendance reports will display that information. If you're looking for cash flow in some payment date range, finance reports will show you that information. And do not expect attendance reports to match financial reports. We've given you a lot to think about in part 1 of this finance reporting video. In part 2, we'll step through each finance report in Versailles and talk about what it does. Thank you for watching, and remember, we are here to help.